Hello everybody, welcome back to TTL. My name is Kieran McGinley and this is round number 90. We head to Brazil and Sao Paulo for the penultimate round of Season 8 of TTL, and the championship could be decided tonight. Without further ado then, let's head into the driver standings. So at the top of the table it's Blizzard on 255, Darren Sinclair on 234. The battle for the Drivers' Championship is solely between those two. Spike is in third on 195, Traw in fourth on 169, Lambo fifth on 156, the Gort on 111, Mays in 7th on 103, Siege is in 8th on 95, Poe in 9th on 87, Lighty in 10th on 86 points. Raikkonen is 11th on 67 points, Steph in 12th on 46, Humbug 13th on 34 points, Weed Nation 14th on 30 points, Geordie 15th on 28 points, Useless who's retired also scoring the same amount of points. Sao Paulo in 17th, he's on 25 points, Squeezy in 18th on 16, Crazy Legs 19th on 15 points, Z3 20th with 12 points. Shunts then is 21st on 8 points, Paisl's 22nd on 7 points, Alan K 23rd on 4 points, Plaster in 24th on 3 points, and Blue Nose in 25th on 1 point. For the constructors, that could also be decided tonight, but that's a lot of maths to get through. But Williams are at the top in pole position on 299, Renault in second on 244, Toro Rosso in third on 238, Mercedes in fourth on 233, Force India are fifth on 220, Sauber in sixth on 180, McLaren in seventh on 127, Haas are in eighth on 104, Ferrari in ninth with 92, and Red Bull at the bottom on 80 points. It's at that point in the season where the nerves really do start to kick in, when the title is just on the horizon and all you need is a good performance. That's the pressure that's on Blizzard tonight, as he'll be looking to grab a championship and the winner's medal for Season 8. Darren Sinclair's not going to make it easy for him though. Sinclair, who, well, he's been interesting to watch this season. He had a run where he couldn't finish a race, but he seems to be in much better form now, and you always get a sticky part in a season where nothing ever seems to go your way, and then towards the end of the season everything starts to work again. Darren Sinclair will be hoping luck's on his side, as we can see here, all the cars leaving the pit lane then to start this penultimate qualifying session of Season 8 of TTL, and it's an awkward pit lane, this one. As you come out here, we'll ride on board with or see Plaster come out of the pit lane. It's very easy to get it wrong coming out of this pit lane, and the race could be won and lost in this pit lane here. You could actually push too hard and hit the wall as you make your way out onto the track, so you have to be very careful when you do come out. We're riding aboard then with second place in the championship, Darren Sinclair. 21 points separates himself and Blizzard, so they'll be hoping then Blizzard to try and get business as usual for him this season. He's had 7 wins this season, and he'll be hoping today will be his 8th win and he'll be able to secure the title. Darren Sinclair 6 wins this season so far, hoping to make that 7 and take the fight to Abu Dhabi. Blue Nose though, I believe, is going to be the first person to settle lap unless Lambo beat him out, which he didn't. In fact, it's actually going to be Blizzard, championship leader, heading on to a lap now, coming into turn 1 into the centre S. And through turn 2, very easy to cut the curb there and invalidate your lap time. Now coming onto the first DRS straight of the lap, as we head down into, I believe this is turn number 5, I believe that is. I'm having to scroll through so many screenshots on my phone to keep on top of this championship battle. But now Blizzard heading up towards turn 6 and 7, that double left-hander. We need all the grip you can here. Up into turn 8 now. Blizzard locking up slightly there as we head now down in towards turn 9, and we will have to see what happens here as he heads into turn number 10. Quick lap here as we head through 11 and up towards turn 12, the corner of Yun Sao, as that exit there, a little bit of tail happy car there on the exit, but Blizzard now making his way towards the line through 14 now and on towards 15. And Blizzard now, what's the lap he's going to set? Run towards the line, it's a 109.2. Now Darren Sinclair has to respond here, coming out of Yun Sao now. What's the time he's going to post? Lambo goes fastest now with a 109.033. He has come alive in this latter part of the season. Darren Sinclair then heading towards the line. What can he do? It's a 109.2. 2/10 off. Puts him in third place. Spike then putting a 109.0. Put him into second place. Squeezy 109.6. Blue Nose we saw there 110.1. Alan K 110.1. Also Raikkonen 110.2. Steph crossed the line there with a 110.1. Plaster 110.7. As Z3 is the car off there. As Troy heads towards the line now. What's the lap time he's going to set? Goes P6 110.0. Weed Nation then on his flying lap as Mays is doing the same here. As we'll head onto that DRS straight now as we see a Renault there taking a very interesting line. And we'll have a look at the gap between the leader here. You can see there, top 5 covered by around about 0.6 of a second, which is very, very close then. And for Blizzard then, he's gone all the way down to 4th place. With Lambo here setting a 109.03. That is an incredible lap from him. And he really has capitalised on his race win this season, and he's in some great form. Watch out for him in season 9, and in fact coming towards Abu Dhabi he could have a vital role to play in this championship scramble. Weed Nation then heading towards the line, and what lap time can he set then? Heading towards the line, DRS wide open, and he goes P5, 109.6 from Weed Nation. Up into 5th place he goes. Mays heading towards the line now and goes P12, 110.6, but of course he is on the soft tyres. So then we have 13 lap times on the board, and Lambo is the current leader of that. Spike is in 2nd place by 0.02 of a second, followed by Darren Sinclair and then Blizzard. So that is a close run in for the top of the championship. That is Z3 leaving the pit lane there, as we'll hope to see him leaving the pit lane here, and there he goes. That's what I'm talking about, losing the back end in there. It's a very, very narrow pit lane, really no margin for error whatsoever. So you'll be hoping here to get it right, and that's exactly what I'm talking about as well. Coming out of the pit lane, you can see there Z3 lost a bit of front wing there, and that's going to cost him, especially during this lap time. So what are we expecting in this Brazilian Grand Prix? Well, we're expecting fireworks, that's for sure, as well we'll be hoping here that this championship battle is really on it. We'll see Mays there goes another lap there and puts himself up into P8. As he sets a 110.1, I believe that is. Yes, it is 110.1 on the soft tyres then. Now I was speaking to Mays. He's hoping, I believe it's his. He's hoping to make it his 19th points finish of in a row. Spans back to season 7. So, well. Sorry, no, it doesn't span back to season 7. What am I talking about? So far, then, Mays has finished in the points in every single race this season. So when it comes to the crunch of the last few races of the season, that's always going to ramp up the pressure for him to get in those point scoring positions. But of course, he will be hoping that that doesn't jinx him. Coming into the race then. Spike then is on an outlap here as he heads towards the line to start another lap. Now he'll be hoping to grab pole position. He may not be able to win the championship this season, but he has a very big influence in it, as does Lambo. So what will Spike be doing then as he heads towards that DRS zone now? We'll see here, Spike locking up, but that could be the lag in this lobby sometimes. When speaking to Spike here, who well, he seems to lock up on my screen and nobody else's, but well, what can you do? That just shows him being aggressive there. He'll now head through turn 9 up towards turn 10 now, and Spike here, what can he do? Can he go quicker than Dan Lambo here? He needs to find 0.02 of a second as he comes towards sector 2 now. That is a 17.0, but it doesn't give us a delta. So then, coming towards the line now then, Spike, what can he do? Where will this put him? Heading towards that line now. And he sets a 109.0. He is 0.03 of a second off his own lap time. So he doesn't improve. Squeezy here, also on a flying lap. And what can he do? How can he have a say in this? He goes P5, 0.3 improvement there. Puts him ahead of Weed Nation. As you can see there, he's in the menus and retires from the session. He believes he's done enough there. He's done all he can. Blue Nose also out there, 0.2 down through Sector 2. Steph also on a flying lap, as is Alan K. Raikkonen heading towards the line. I believe this is an out lap, as he'll head towards the line. It is indeed. Mays has retired from the session, and he believes he's done all he can then. Spike's still out there. But Darren Sinclair here starting his out lap now, or starting his flying lap, I should say. So he's got around about 0.2 of a lap, 0.2 of a second, sorry, to find on Lambo here. And we'll have a look at his sector times as he comes through onto that first DRS straight now. And I wonder, he's not pushing, so maybe he's just trying to warm up the tyres this lap. Maybe go for 2 out laps rather than 1 here. So that's interesting to see. So that invites Blizzard then. He's trying to leave it as late as possible here. Currently in P4, still in the garage. Lambo as well in the pits as well. Weed Nation on a flying lap. Alan K then heading towards the line. Can he get himself up into that top 10? Can he knock Mays out of it? Yes, he can. Improves by almost 0.1 of a second to put himself up into P10. So Darren Sinclair then heading towards Yun Sao now into turn 12. And what can he do? Keep an eye on Raikkonen's time here. He's on some super soft tyres this time. He will cross the line and he goes P7 there, 109.4. Darren Sinclair heading towards the line now. He's won in this championship lead. This lap won't be representative because he was coasting. So let's see what he can do from here then. Lambo comes out of the pits and Blizzard needs to exit the pits now. Yes, he's out on track. So, well, he's leaving it very, very late. But he's hoping for the ideal track opportunity here, the ideal track conditions. Lambo also on an outlap as well. Darren Sinclair now heading towards turn 4, now through turn 5. He's got to nail this now, coming towards turn 6 and 7, this double right-hander. Always glorious when you get it right. And now coming into turn 8, through turn 9 now. And not the best camera angle in the world, this one, but he's got traffic up ahead. That's Blizzard. Well, Blizzard getting out of the way. And Darren Sinclair then hoping that this will be enough. This will be probably his only attempt here to try and get onto pole position. Can he make it work then? Coming out of Yun Sao through turn 13. And now it's all left-handers towards the line. And what can Darren Sinclair do then? Heading towards the line. DRS opens. What's the time for Darren Sinclair? It's a 108.8 and puts himself onto pole position with an amazing lap time. First drive into the 108s then. That puts a huge amount of pressure on Blizzard there. Spike then heading towards the pit lane. Now he has retired from the session. Troll then heading up into 4th place as he retires from the session. Blizzard has got it all to do now. He just beat the checkered flag out there, so he will be one of the last to set a lap time. Lambo here heading out of turn 8 onto turn 9 now, losing the back end slightly, and we'll have a look at the sector 2 line where he is, or at least how he's doing delta wise. Well, he's still on the lap, so he must be up as he comes to a 16.9, so it doesn't give us if he's faster or not. We'll have to keep an eye on Blizzard as well, but Lambo then heading towards the line. And can Lambo grab pole position here, back away from Darren Sinclair? He'll head towards the line now. And it's a 108.7. Lambo takes pole position back. But can Blizzard have a say in this now? He'll head towards the line. What's Blizzard's lap time going to be? It's a 108.5. Unbelievable. Blizzard here has pulled that lap time out of the hat there. And Blizzard will take pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Well then, Blizzard, pole position, 108.5. Lambo in second, Darren Sinclair in third, Spike in fourth, Draw in fifth, Squeezy in sixth, Steph in seventh, Raikkonen eighth, Weed Nation ninth, Blue Nose 10th, Alan K 11th, Maze in 12th, Plaster 13th, Z3 didn't set a time and neither did Pacels. Well then, it sets up for a very interesting race. It's coming up after this edit. Well, it's dry, the clouds look blue, or at least I think they do anyway. From this angle it looks like maybe it could be a dry race. But, well, what can you say then? Penultimate race of the season. Blizzard is exactly where he wants to be. If he wins the race today, he will become Season 8 champion here tonight at Brazil. And the only man that can stop him is Darren Sinclair, who qualified down in third place. Lambo could also have a say as he starts in second place, but we'll have all this driver review, we'll have all the drivers to watch on the formation lap. Well, here we are then. The formation lap gets underway. And if you're Darren Sinclair, you must be having a bit of nerves on your side here. Blizzard showing incredible pace. A 108.5 was his lap time. Now Blizzard here has, this is his 18th race of the season. He's had 7 wins, 11 podiums, 12 top 5 and 4 DNFs, which puts him at the top of the table on 255. That's against this man here, Darren Sinclair, who has competed in every single race so far. 6 wins, 11 podiums, 11 top 5s and 6 DNFs, which puts him 21 points behind Blizzard. So head to head here. So what do they need to do? Well, Blizzard wins, he'll be champion. If he finishes second, Darren Sinclair will have to finish fourth. If Blizzard finishes in third place, Darren Sinclair has to finish fifth for Blizzard to win the championship. Fourth place for Blizzard, Darren Sinclair will have to finish seventh for Blizzard to grab the title here. If Blizzard finishes in fifth, Darren Sinclair finishes eighth. Again, Blizzard will become champion. If Blizzard finishes in 6th or 7th place, Darren Sinclair finishes 9th. Again, Blizzard will be champion. But if Blizzard puts 8th place or lower, we go to Abu Dhabi. Now, if Darren Sinclair doesn't score any points in this race, all Blizzard needs is a 7th place to be crowned champion here tonight. Are you nervous? Well, you're about to be. This is going to be a heck of a penultimate race. Advantage Blizzard, but can he take advantage? The race coming up after this edit. So here we are then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 5 red lights are on. Round 19 is underway, and what are the starts like? Looks like Blizzard has got a decent start here, but Darren Sinclair is right on his tail as they head towards turn 1. That's a Renault trying to dive up the inside, and he's hit Darren Sinclair there. And well, it looks relatively clean as we head our way back. Then Lambo takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Blizzard second, Darren Sinclair third. That was Spike trying to dive up the inside, but we've got Squeezy, is that Squeezy there, in the Mercedes, and Traw fighting over position here as we head out, and Weed Nation has got himself up a position there, up into 9th place. So, well, for Blizzard then, not an ideal start, but we have 36 laps of this race to go. Blizzard here trying to go for the move, but he knows here he can't take any risks. That's Z3 dropping down the order. He's gone and taken a trip across the grass there, and he needs to be careful on those tyres here. As we look at the biggest winners here, well, Pacels is the biggest winner here. He's up 3 places. The biggest loser, well, it's harsh to say that, but Alan K down 2 positions is the biggest loser from the start. Lambo leads the way then, Blizzard in second, that's Darren Sinclair in third, Spike fourth and Squeezy fifth, all separated by not a lot indeed. Blizzard then, if he stays like this, we go to Abu Dhabi, and that's Raikkonen into the pits then. Raikkonen in the pits. Now what's happened here? Might have got caught up at turn 1, but on goes some soft tyres, I believe that is, and we'll see here what will happen. Let's get these tyres up then. So Raikkonen now exiting the pits on some soft tyres. Meanwhile, our hard-charging Weed Nation sees Steph losing the back end coming out of turn 5. And this could be an opportunity for Weed then. Surely not in the inside of turn 6 and 7. Not really an overtake place. Weed Nation runs wide, and Blue Nose here senses an opportunity. He's got to be careful here. He's left himself a little bit vulnerable here. But he'll be wanting to just get on with the job here. Williams could win the Constructors' Championship here as they strive for that. Pace was there, losing out to Alan Kay, and he might lose out to Plaster here as they come towards turn 11, I believe that is. And yes, he has lost out to Plaster here. Plaster taking an unorthodox line coming into Chun Sao, but he that might cost him actually. His exit wasn't great coming out of Chun Sao, and that's going to leave him exposed here. Plaster on the main straight. Basil's having to take to the grass. DRS enabled, and Basil's here switching back to go up the inside of Plaster, and they've made contact. They've made contact. Plaster is out of the race, and both tyres gone there. Well, Basil's, I think he's okay for damage. Looks like a broken front wing though. But well, the two have collided, and Plaster is in the wall. He's out of the race. We move to the top of the food chain. Lambo still leading the way. Blizzard in second place. Darren Sinclair third. And Lambo here is rather spoiling Blizzard's day, but Lambo here has showed incredible pace in this second half of the season. He's shown, and he's advertising here, that he could be a potential title rival next season, and we'll have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, let's focus on this season. Blizzard will want to try and find a way past Lambo. If he does, he will be champion. And I know I'll keep saying this, but I've got that table right up in front of me to try and keep you up to date as much as I can. Weed Nation here, has he found a way past Steph? Yes, he has. But Steph here looks like he didn't get a great exit off of Yun Sao. And let's have a look behind. Blue Nose here could sense that opportunity. Maze in the background as well, hoping to make it his 19th points finish in a row this season. And well, competing with the likes of Esteban Ocon in real life. But we'll have a look here. Blue Nose here not getting an ideal line either out of the exit of the Senna S. And coming down this back straight here, we can see that Force India of Blue Nose having a go for Steph here. And Steph defending his line and defending through turn 5 there. Heading towards the double right-hander of turn 6 and turn 7. And that is Blue Nose running wide there. And May senses an opportunity. He's going to drive it down the inside as he makes contact and has to back out of the move. Blue Nose loses it, and May's trying to slip it up the inside now. We come towards turn 10, and May's has lost the back end. He backs out of that move and lives to fight another day. Well, Draw here. Oh, that's a car over in the grass over there. That is Squeezy. Now, how did he end up there? Well, that is incredible. He must have lost it coming out of turn 11 there, did he? Well, that is a very peculiar place to lose it. Or turn 10, but Squeezy there has lost all that time, and now he's up against Z3 down the main straight. And Z3 here will try his best here to kind of keep in front with those medium tyres. But Squeezy's not giving up on that one. Z3 takes the position for now, and Squeezy trying to go down the inside, coming into turn 1, and then through the centre S's. Meanwhile, though, we're going to have to cut up ahead because the gap between the leader is just under 2/10. Blizzard here is wanting to have this position. He wants it badly. He knows he can wrap the title up today, and he wants that position. Lambo here is not going to make it easy for him. Darren Sinclair lurking in the background, hoping to gain a couple of positions here and maybe a couple of points on Blizzard. He's hoping that if it stays like this, it does go to Abu Dhabi, albeit with around about a 25-point deficit. And that's Darren Sinclair off the road. He's lost the car. Darren Sinclair keeps it out of the wall, though, and that's crucial. He needs to spin that car around and make his way back up the field. That is a disaster for Darren Sinclair, but it isn't over yet. But if he wants to stay in this championship battle, he needs to recover to third place as it stands. But disaster for Darren Sinclair at the moment. It doesn't look like he got any damage to that. He kept it out of the walls, and well, now he puts the control firmly into Blizzard's hands. Speaking of Blizzard, he's going to try and move down the inside into turn 4. And he's got the move done. Blizzard takes the lead of the race and puts himself in control. But for how much longer, though? Because Lambo is up the inside, coming into turn 6 and turn 7. You've got to be brave to keep it on the outside there. They do bang tyres, but Lambo there has the inside line, coming in towards turn 9 now. And it looks like Blizzard's still ahead by just a nose, and Lambo's fighting on there, and Lambo has defended his position coming up into turn 10. That is fantastic defending from Lambo. Great battling from those two. And Blizzard here is wanting this position even more now. He's up for the fight, and so is Lambo. Update on Darren Sinclair, that's Alan Kay, his teammate, getting right out of the way. Darren Sinclair up into 9th place as he charges now for a podium place. Well, Blizzard here trying to make a move up the inside into turn 1, and Lambo isn't going to let him give up. And Blizzard does run wide coming into turn 3 as Traw comes into the pits then. But will Lambo have the DRS? Yes, he will. Coming down towards turn 4, and Lambo here gets ahead once again, but he's not got a great exit out of 5. And that leaves him very vulnerable to Blizzard, and Blizzard retakes the lead of the race. And that is a disaster for Darren Sinclair, as Darren Sinclair then switches strategy. Onto some soft tyres he goes. He comes in early to try and extend his stint here, and that confirms then he's probably on a 2-stop now. Oh, he's lost it into the barrier, but doesn't look like there's any front wing damage, so he's very, very lucky there to emerge there with a front wing intact. 13th place then. This race is not over as he runs wide. He's pushing so hard there, but he's got to keep his cool. Blizzard and Lambo fighting over this lead, and the more they do this, that invites Darren Sinclair to still have a chance in this one. Lambo here side by side, they head into turn 1, and does Lambo grab that position? They are side by side coming into turn 1, into turn 2 they go, and that's Lambo up into P1. But Blizzard here will have the DRS coming down the back straight as they'll head towards turn number 4. And Blizzard retakes the lead of the race. Meanwhile, the two of them are battling and squabbling, and that is allowing Lambo to try and go up the outside, coming in towards turn 6 and 7. And Blizzard backs out of the move. Lambo once again retakes the lead, and that's inviting Spike here to have a little bit of a say in this. He knows he can have a huge influence on this championship battle, as he'll want to try and get past Blizzard and Lambo. He'll want to try and take a race win here at Brazil. Blizzard then still on Lambo's tail as we head towards Junsao and turn 12. Well, does he get a good exit out of Junsao? It does look like it. He will have DRS along the main straight. And the DRS activation point is quite far down the straight. But look at this slipstream now. Blizzard then heading up the inside into turn 1. Has he got the move this time? Lambo sticking it, which will become the inside for turn 2, and he's held on. And Spike here really closing up now as we head towards turn 4. And is Blizzard going to have another go down the inside? Yes, he is. And well, Lambo here keeps that position. He does run slightly wide, and all that time Spike has closed in even more as we'll now head through turn 6 and turn 7. Well, the great thing about Formula 1 is it's not over until it's over, as these guys are fighting tooth and nail and proving themselves why they could be challenging for the title next season. Lambo here then as we head towards Junsao, and Blizzard runs slightly wide there, and that's going to invite the pressure from Spike here as they head up the hill through 13 and then 14. It's all left-handers to the finish line. And Blizzard here will open his DRS. Now, he might be too far back to try and make a move, but I could be proven very wrong here. They head towards turn 1. He has a think about it, but stays in that slipstream. They'll be hoping to try and get a better exit through turn 2 and loses that back end very slightly. That's that tyre wear coming into play then. So it looks like all of them are one-stopping. Meanwhile, this is Maze and Steph here. The battle for 5th place, and Maze here keeps that car in there as Steph tries to extend the elbows to try and keep that position, and he does before turn 4. Neither of them got DRS, they were that close, and well, Steph holds on to his position. Darren Sinclair, meanwhile, has the fastest lap of the race on a set of soft tyres. He's pushing now behind Raikkonen with the DRS here, and this will get him up into the points now. Has to go the long way around, coming down into turn 4. Raikkonen is not making this easy for him at all here. And, well, does he have a chance now up towards turn 6 and turn 7? He sees the opportunity there down the inside. He doesn't take it though. And we'll stay behind him for a couple more corners. Down towards turn 9. Get the exit of this one spot on. And you've got a good chance coming into turn 10. As meanwhile then Spike heads into the pits. So he's the first of the leaders to pit in. And what strategy will he have? This might be a set of medium tyres going on here. Looks like softs, but you can never really tell until they leave the pit lane. It is a set of soft tyres for Spike. So then, where will this lead him out? Where will he rejoin? There's the Toro Rosso of Alan Kay. So that looks like he's going to rejoin in 7th place there, but only just. And he's got a good chance here with Alan Kay as we head towards turn 4. As Blizzard here has lost a huge amount of time. 4 seconds back on Lambo now. I wonder what happened there. Spike then, meanwhile, now trying to chase down Alan. Well, he's passed Alan Kay. He's now trying to chase down Troy as he'll head towards turn 8. Trying to remember all the corner numbers here just off the top of my head. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. That's Blue Nose who has crashed out. Well, that's coming out of turn 5, I believe. And he's lost it completely, hasn't he? Well, Blue Nose then becomes the second retirement of the day. Meanwhile then a hard charging Darren Sinclair trying to make his moves on Z3. Lambo then into the pits, as you see some floating tyres for, I believe that's the Sauber crew. But Lambo then. Now where will Spike be? Troy here is doing a good job here of keeping Spike back. There's the two of them there. And that's Lambo here. He's got to be careful as they head out of the pit exit. So Spike has jumped Blizzard in the pits. Blizzard on a new set of super soft tyres. And Lambo will rejoin in the lead of the race. And that is crucial there. Well, well, well. This adds a little bit of drama as Alan Kay here is under threat from Blizzard now as they head towards turn 6 and turn 7. Alan Kay holding on for dear life. And oh, that's Blizzard gone round. Blizzard's gone round. Well, if you wanted drama in your championship battle, this is exactly what you wanted. Because there's Darren Sinclair. He's moved up now into 5th place. Well, well, well. This has added something else, hasn't it? Look at this queue of cars here. From Raikkonen downwards. Z3 downwards. Incredible stuff. Well, as I said before, if you wanted drama here, yes, this is what you've got. Absolutely sensational stuff there. That's Mays trying to go around the outside there as Blizzard has to keep his cool now. It's a long race, still a long way to go. So then, Lambo leads. Troy is in 2nd, Spike in 3rd. Troy still has to stop. That's Alan Kay in 4th place. And Darren Sinclair will be closing in on his teammate fast here. And you'd think Alan Kay just will make it a little bit easier for his teammate who's battling away. Oh, that's Mays there trying to go down the inside. And oh, Mays has got to keep his 19-point finishing streak intact here. That's at risk in this battle here. But Blizzard, you can see, on a hard charge, he wants those points. And he goes down the inside of Mays and takes that position away from Mays. Now his next target is Raikkonen as they head towards turn 6 and 7 here. And just got to keep his front wing intact. Z3 runs wide. That's a free position for Blizzard. Now he'll go down the inside of Raikkonen, heading into turn 8. And that's Steph there trying to have a go on the inside of Mays. But Blizzard up into 7th place now. Well, behind them now, that is Mays trying to have a go at Raikkonen now, going around the outside of turn 11, unorthodox, and that's Steph who's wanting to try and take advantage here, and Raikkonen gets out of the move there. Steph, you could hear the contact there and the hand of rage come up from Raikkonen. Does Steph have damage? Yes, he does on that left-hand side. Steph got damage from that incident there. Is he going to keep going? Yes, he is. He feels he's got enough pace there to keep himself out there. Meanwhile, Spike has got past Troy on older tyres. As we head towards turn 1 here, we've got a flurry of 5 cars battling here as Mays just wants to run away. Raikkonen here trying to be defensive against Steph, who is wanting to look for that 9th place position. Now, Steph I believe he hasn't. He has stopped yet. Excuse me. He has stopped for a new set of tyres. So the only two people who haven't stopped are Z3 and Alan Kay. Well, speaking of team orders, that looks suspiciously like team orders there as Darren Sinclair moves up to 4th place, and this championship has taken a huge swing in the opposite direction. Now Darren Sinclair just has to keep it on the track here because those points will be vital. As it stands then, Darren Sinclair will shorten that gap and having to work out the... here's Blizzard here on Weed Nation, and again 2 teammates. I don't think Weed Nation is going to make that too difficult for Blizzard. Blizzard then moves up into 6th place as we head towards turn 1. Blizzard on a hard charge now. And that's Steph retiring from the session. He's done for the day, and on lap 15 becomes the 3rd retirement of the session. That's a little bit of speeding in the pit lane from Steph there, I think. But, oh well, never mind. We'll find some place to stop out on track. Weed Nation then in 7th place. Hoping to have this battle with Renault. At the moment, Renault look like they've got a foothold in that Constructors. 18 points at the moment from Spike. Blizzard here on the back of Alan Kay. Now this will be crucial. We're heading up towards turn 12 and Jun Sao. Will Blizzard have a move? He thought about it there, you could see that. But backs out of the move. Now Blizzard here has put on a new set of super soft tyres, so he's on a 2-stop. Darren Sinclair could be on a 1-stop here. Side by side they go, and super soft tyres versus medium tyres. There really is only one winner. Blizzard then moves up into 5th place and sets the fastest lap of the race in doing so. So 10 points for Darren Sinclair at the moment, 8 points for Blizzard. If it finishes like this, the gap between the two of them is 19 points, with Blizzard still at the top. And that could be all important for Darren Sinclair. A DNF here would ruin any chance of Darren Sinclair taking the title. So he's got to keep it on the track, and as long as he finishes ahead of Blizzard, that's a win. Squeezy here, trying to chase down Mays. He's reserved for the Gort, as the Gort is not going to finish this season. He's on holiday, so if the Gort's watching, let's see how your Squeezy's doing in your car. Currently 9th place, and keeping up with the Mercedes tradition, you never normally see 2 Mercedes far apart from each other, normally on the same bit of track there. Meanwhile, Weed Nation and Alan Kay coming towards the start-finish line as Weed Nation gives Alan Kay plenty of room there. Down the inside it goes. And can he get ahead before turn 1? He's going to have the DRS heading towards turn 1 there. And Alan Kay runs slightly onto the grass there. That's going to give him a lack of grip. And Weed Nation there puts himself up into 6th place. Squeezy picking up a 3-second time penalty there. But he's got the DRS on his teammate. And is he going to have a look? Yes, he is, up into turn 4, but backs out of it. And I'm thankful he did, because that looked like a Max Verstappen dive bomb rather than a Daniel Ricciardo one. So then, race leader Lambo is being chased down by Spike. 1.2 seconds the gap. And Spike here has a chance to try and get another win for the season. Lambo here wants to make it 2 wins for the season. And with Darren Sinclair and Blizzard down in 4th and 5th, this could be a good chance for both of them to add a win to their tally here in TTL. Squeezy here on some super soft tyres, pretty much confirming that he is on a 2-stop against his teammate here, who could be on a 1-stop. Now, in a situation like this, does Mays move aside and let Squeezy through, or does he try and battle Squeezy and lose time for both of them? Well, only time will tell now as we head towards turn 1, and it looks like Mays is going to make him fight for it. Coming into turn 1 here, as Squeezy gets a little bit on the grass there, won't affect him too much. Coming into turn 2 here, as we head down the first DRS straight. Meanwhile, have a look at this, Blizzard, who has to stop again. He has to stop again against Darren Sinclair, who will try and make it to the end of the race. Now, strategy is all important here at Brazil. Tyre wear is high, and the degradation hits you much harder than you could think. If you're definitely not careful with the tyres, those tyres will come back to bite you. Squeezy hit, still on the back of his teammate Maze, as they both try and chase down Alan Kay, who still has yet to stop. One can only assume then he'll be going onto the super soft tyres towards the end of the race then. Meanwhile, Blizzard, this is crucial. He has to get past Darren Sinclair. If he wants his strategy to work, this is the moment he needs to get past Darren Sinclair. Heading towards the DRS zone now. Heading now down towards turn 1. And is he going to have a move up the inside? Is he going to think about it? No, he doesn't. Stays behind for the second DRS, or sorry, the first DRS straight of the lap. It's technically. But he picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Now that will be added to the end of his race, and Darren Sinclair there holding that inside line. He's not going to let he's not going to let Blizzard pass that easily, and Blizzard there had to back out of that move. Darren Sinclair defending well so far on harder tyres. Blizzard then, that's just going to make him even more determined to try and get past Darren Sinclair. He's going to have a move up the inside. Darren Sinclair covering that line into turn 8. So they head through turn 9 now, and it's all about getting that exit towards turn 10. If you screw up your exit here, you leave yourself very vulnerable going into turn 10. No real overtaking opportunities until we get down to Jung Sao now, going towards turn 12. And Blizzard here, is he going to focus on his exit? Yes, he is. They both do. Heading out of turn 12 now, and through the left-handers, he's going to have all that lovely slipstream and the DRS as well to try and have a move and try and have a go down the inside of Darren Sinclair. And you can see here that DRS is not really working for Blizzard. But coming into turn 1 now, turn 2, and then through turn 3, looks like Blizzard's got a good exit. As Darren Sinclair this time goes to the outside, collects a bit of grass, but I don't think he can do a lot about Blizzard here. Still defending that inside line, they bang tyres. Blizzard has to run wide, and Darren Sinclair holds on to 4th place for all he can. Heading towards turn 6 and turn 7. This is the championship battle we wanted now. As we head towards turn 8, Blizzard trying to go around the outside of Blizzard, which will become the inside. Sorry, of Darren Sinclair, they make contact. They make contact. Blizzard tags the rear tyre of Darren Sinclair, and look at this now. This is tense stuff. They get really close there. They are two fierce rivals now, that's for sure. They're not giving each other any space out there, as Blizzard looks to try and go down the inside of Darren Sinclair, coming into turn 12, and Darren Sinclair might have to admit defeat to that one at the sake of keeping his front wing intact there. Blizzard very aggressive, but he's got his move done, up into 4th place now. Well, he'll be hoping that Darren Sinclair doesn't try and move down the inside, but he's tempting him with that rear view mirror. In those mirrors now, Blizzard's going to be worried. But he'll look to try and now extend that gap now and try and make that 2-stop work. He's got to increase the gap to well over 20 seconds if he wants to rejoin in front of him. That's not really possible. So what he's got to do is try and get ahead of Darren Sinclair as far as he can and make his last stint really count. Meanwhile, in all of that drama, Squeezy has found a way past Maze, and up into 7th place he goes. And Alan Kay is coming out of the pits here. He's going to go on to a set of soft tyres, and looks like he might rejoin in 10th place. And how crucial will it be, a point for him this season on this in this car? And well, he says to me that his temporary setup hopefully won't be around for too much longer, and he'll be able to race again, hopefully in the midfield, and I for one can't wait for that. Meanwhile, Darren Sinclair has fallen back once again. Now, what happened there? Weed Nation has managed to find a way past. Meanwhile then, Traw will make his only stop of the race then. Now this looks like he's going to go onto a set of super soft tyres and try and... Oh, Darren Sinclair is in the pits. Well, what happened there? Is this going to be a change of front wing? He's got himself that 5-second stop-go penalty, which he cannot serve in this pit stop. And that is another set of soft tyres on for Darren Sinclair. So a disaster then for Darren Sinclair. Where will he rejoin? If he rejoins in 7th place, which that looks like is what's going to happen, Blizzard right now in 3rd place. If it finishes like this, Blizzard will be champion. So Darren Sinclair will have to claw his way back up to... Oh, Darren Sinclair! What happened there? Well then, he's out. Well, that is a disaster. What happened there? Well, if you look at the rear tyres spinning up, that is a total glitch of the game. And that is a sad way for Darren Sinclair to retire from this race. And that is... Well, that is a sad sight to see, really. However he's lost it, the game is just not going to have it. Rear wing clipping through the barrier there. No way his rear tyres are reaching the ground. Darren Sinclair retires from the race, which means then pressure off on Blizzard, but still not over yet. He has to finish 7th place in order to be crowned champion today. Currently in 3rd place now. He has a little bit of pressure relieved from him, but he could still win it today if he finishes in 7th place or higher. Lambo then, race leader, as we round Chun Sao, heading towards the line. 0.8 of a second separates himself and Spike, and well, we can see here what these guys are up to. We'll see now, heading into turn 1. 11 drivers remain in this race. Still all to play for in terms of a race win. Could be Spike, could be Lambo, could even be Blizzard if he's quick enough on his 3rd stint. Heading towards turn 4. The field a little bit spread out then, so let's go through all the order. Lambo leads the way, Spike is in 2nd, Blizzard 3rd, Maze is in 4th place, Traw is in 5th, Weed Nation 6th, Raikkonen 7th, Alan K is in 8th, Z3 9th, Pacel's 10th, and Squeezy is in 11th place. So then, still the battle for the lead rages on. Spike 7/10 back. And he's hoping here that he can find a way past for a win in TTL to add to his record. 0.8 of a second separates him. And, well, that rules out the onboards from Spike here with the rev limiter always on. But there we go then. Spike into the pits then. Looks like he's going to go for a set of super soft tyres. And that will promote Blizzard, it looks like, coming in as well. So he's on for the 2-stop. Spike changing onto a 2-stop strategy. He's thinking then that the only way he's going to win this is if he's on a different strategy to Lambo. Now, what does Lambo do? He's got a lap here as Maze pits in as well. So Draw will be in the next car to Spike. Will it? No, it won't. So Spike will rejoin then in clear air in 2nd place, 20.6 seconds. And Lambo here has got a big ask now. Does he continue on, or does he pit in surely now with, I believe that's 12 or 11 and a bit laps to go, that he stays out now? He has to. And he has to hope that Spike then doesn't close up that gap. Nervy times for Lambo then. But he'll make his way towards the line. If this pays off for Spike, this will be strategic genius. Well, we'll see what happens. Meanwhile then, Raikkonen 7/10 back from Maze, who has rejoined on a set of super soft tyres, and he could actually go for 3rd place here, Maze. If he's got the pace, he could try and catch Straw here. And let's have a look. Well, Spike here, you can see how much he's closing. Lambo then does pit in. And where is Spike? Coming along the main straight now into turn 1. There's Lambo. So Lambo decides then he wants to be on the same strategy. You can see them both in the same shot. And who is going to retake the lead? Who's going to take the lead of this race? That's going to be so close. Look at this. Spike instantly goes into the slipstream of Lambo. But Lambo keeps a hold of the lead. Total faith in his team then to do that. And, well, he rejoins now in the lead of the race on the same strategy as Spike. It was a good try from Spike, but it's got about 3/10 down on him, which is unfortunate. It was a good idea, but all the battling still has to be done out on track. Well, Maze here, we've said before, as we're migrating the host apparently. Well, that'll be interesting. Mays here, has he left the session? Yes, he has. So he hasn't retired. He's left the session. He will continue around as a ghost car, and this could be his consecutive points finish in real worry here. But anyway, we head towards turn 1. Spike there, 110.5. He's closing in on the Lambo here. Draw in third place. Very consistent as he looks behind him for Blizzard here. As it stands, Blizzard will be the champion of Season 8 of TTL. But Spike here wants this race win. But can he get it? He's got a lot to do here. Alan Kay moves up into 7th place from Mays' ghost car, and it's a question of can Mays rejoin to take control of his car again. His points finish is on the line here with 10 laps to go. Will his ghost car hold on? Meanwhile then, Lambo heading towards the line. Still under pressure from Spike then, as Lambo crosses the line. Spike still fastest lap of the race. We have 9 laps to go, of this race. And Lambo still in the lead. Spike picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, which all adds up. And we'll have to see as well. Blizzard has penalties as well. So he's just got to get far enough of Alan Kay here, who is the man in 7th place. Looks like it's about 17 seconds. Maybe more than that, about 21 seconds between himself and Alan Kay. So unless he's got 7 times worth of 3-second time penalties, then I think at the moment he's safe. Lambo then still leads the way. Spike chasing him down. And well, what do you do if you're Spike? You tried the alternate strategy and it didn't work. So what do you do now? He's just got to keep pushing, and hopefully he'll get something out of it. Well, he's a second back now. He might have made a mistake there. So we come on now. 8 laps to go as Lambo crosses the line. 8 laps to go. Blizzard then is closing in on Traw. This for the last podium place. And I wonder here what Blizzard will do. Does he attack and try and get 3rd place? Or does he just hold back and settle for 4th place? The ball is in his court. It's him to decide what he's going to do. Z3 then moving up into 8th place. Mays down to 9th. Only 10.7 separates him now from Pacel's in 10th place. And Mays will be hoping that his ghost car can hold on for just a little bit longer. Meanwhile then, Blizzard still trying to chase down Traw. Coming towards turn 8 now. Well, I looked up in the records here. Blizzard here obviously has 7 wins to his name. And it will be a tough ask to make it 8. So we head towards turn 12. We'll try and get a better exit coming out of Junsao. 7 laps to go. And Blizzard here knows that at one wrong move, and it could be that he has to fight in Abu Dhabi for his title, or sorry, for the title. And he's lost a bit of ground there. I shouldn't say his title. It's not his title yet. We've got a long way to go. It may seem like only 7 laps, but I guarantee you Blizzard will be hoping that these 7 laps fly by incident-free. Then he's in the slipstream. He's got DRS on Traw. Can he take away this podium position from the Sauber driver into turn 4? He's still on the inside there. And Traw here on that one-stop strategy against Blizzard on a 2-stop. As we head around the outside of turn 6 and turn 7, Traw still on the inside. And still on the inside, coming into turn 8 here. And Blizzard then moves up into 3rd place. Traw, though, is still on the back of him. Mays heading into the pits. His ghost car's headed into the pits. Well, he's going on to soft tyres again. Unbelievable. Well, Mace then drops to 11th place, and that could be his points tally in tatters at Brazil. So then, Lambo and Spike both battling. I've looked it up. They're both battling for their second win of the season. Spike's win coming in Austria, Lambo's win coming in Malaysia. So I'll be hoping here that they can add a second win on the board. Draw though, 7/10 down, and hopes of a podium are quickly fading for the German driver. Lambo then in the lead of the race with 6 laps to go, or 5 and a bit if you're particularly picky. Still leads the way, and well, he has had a huge say in this race, and he's proven today that he can battle with the guys at the top. He's already got a race win to prove that. He already had his race win in Italy taken away due to penalties by 0.04 of a second, and he's hoping today that he won't have the penalties cost him a race win today. Lambo then will come towards the line with 5 laps to go now. Spike is in 2nd place then. Blizzard in 3rd. Pressure from Traw's still there. Weed Nation is 5th place. Raikkonen 6th. Alan K is in 7th. Z3 8th. Pazel's 9th. Squeezy is in 10th place. And Maze, as a ghost car, is currently outside of the points. Well, Lambo still leading the way. And, well, as you get towards the end of the race, concentration levels can wear thin. Meanwhile, though, Squeezy is looking down the inside of Pazel. He's going to dive bomb it into turn 8, and Pazel's there. He's made contact with him, and that looked like a bit of a Max Verstappen move. He has driven on, and Pazel will not be happy with him about that one. Squeezy looked a little desperate there to try and get 9th place. Got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. I believe that was just Pazel's there spinning the car around. Well then, Lambo, 4 laps to go here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And the field has spread out just a little bit, but that is exactly what Blizzard wants. He wants an incident-free race for the rest of the race. He's only got 4 laps left, and well, he'll be able to claim the title. Not over till that checkered flag falls, as he'll head into turn 1, opening up the gap between himself and Traw. Lambo then heading towards turn 6 and turn 7, hoping to add to his tally here. He'll be hoping for his 2nd win of the season. Spike's doing everything he can to stop him, but 1.9 is currently the gap. Remember that penalties will be applied for the official, unofficial results, as we may be able to crown a champion today. I'll absolutely go mental if we crown a champion today, but with penalties applied, that could all mean nothing. So nothing's guaranteed until the next video where we find out the fates of any incidents that have happened. Save me rambling then. How about we look at Lambo, who's about to start lap 34, and 3 laps to go in this race. The car's very spread out here. 1.8 now becomes 2.2. You can see how far Spike is starting to fall back, and Lambo with an incredible pace here. Spike then 2.3 behind. He'll be hoping then to secure his place as best of the rest. He's currently fighting for that position with Traw here over 3rd place in the championship, and it's safe to say that if Spike finishes in this position, I believe he'll have secured 3rd place in the championship, as Maze's Ghost pits in once again. And this is a glitch that happens with the AI. They just keep wanting to come into the pits every single lap, so I think we can safely say that's Maze's point streak over. Well, that's what I'm talking about then. 3-second time penalty for Blizzard there. Lambo heading towards Junsao for the 34th time. Heading towards the line then, as he's closing in on a back marker. I believe that is Squeezy he's closing up on. But here we go then, closing on that Mercedes driver. 2 laps to go here in Brazil. And Lambo just has to hold on for a couple more laps. That same could be said about Blizzard and Pazels. Pazels has, well, that's a huge crash. That is a huge crash for Pazels there. We can't even see him on the camera. He's well behind that tent and he has lost it massively coming into turn 1. That is huge. Well then, all might not be over for Maze's Ghost then if he can make it around. But Pazels then out of the race. That is huge. How did he do that? Lambo then heading towards turn 10. And he'll be hoping now. It is plain sailing. He'll be hoping the Mercedes will get out of the way. He'll be hoping his tyres can make it to the end of the race. These are all things that not only Lambo's thinking, but Blizzard's probably thinking as well. Maybe not about the Mercedes, but he'll be hoping his tyres stay intact for the rest of the race. There you go. Maze's Ghost does move up into the point. So whether or not we get points for finishing, or rather finishing as a Ghost, is up to the league. But Lambo starts the last lap of the penultimate round of Season 8. As Spike then picks up a 3-second time penalty. Lambo leads the way. 3.3 separates himself and Lambo at the beginning. Or Lambo and Spike, 3 seconds. That's what I should say. I started that sentence and I couldn't remember which driver I said, so I just 50-50 and I probably got it wrong. But Lambo leads by 3.3. Blizzard then in third place, heading towards turn 5 and up the hill towards turn 6. Lambo then heading towards turn 10 meanwhile. And again, he'll be hoping his tyres can hold out. Spike's done everything he can, including throwing Lambo in at the deep end by trying an undercut on a different strategy. Plan B was definitely used by Spike there, but to no avail. Lambo will head towards the line now. This could be his second win of the season, heading towards that line. And Lambo here is going to win the penultimate round here in Brazil. Spike will cross the line in second place, and he is 10 seconds back. But all things considered, Blizzard here is going to cross the line, and he's going to win the Drivers' Championship for TTL. He crashes across the line, and he is the Season 8 champion. The podium's been taken away by him, by Traw here. So he'll claim third place, but Blizzard here, fourth place is enough for him to be crowned Season 8 champion. Weed Nation finishes in fifth place. Raikkonen will come across the line. He'll claim sixth place. Alan Kay here will pick up some valuable points for Toro Rosso. He'll cross the line in seventh place. And Z3 here in the wall towards the last corner. He'll lose that front wing of his. But Maze then as a Ghost, I'm not sure what's going to happen about that, but Z3 will head towards the line to claim 8th place in this race. Well, Lambo has won the race, but the Season 8 champion, you can see here, Blizzard wins it, and Lambo wins the race. Well, Lambo here picks up his second race win of the season and advertises himself very nicely for Season 9. Well then, Lambo takes the race win. Spike finishes in second, Traw in third, Blizzard's fourth place crowns him Season 8 champion with one race to go. Weed Nation in fifth, Raikkonen sixth, Alan Kay seventh, Z3 eighth, Squeezy in ninth. That's Maze in 10th. Whether he gets that point though is another question. That was Pazels in 11th. Darren Sinclair in 12th place. He'll hope to pick himself up for next season. Steph in 13th. Force India and a Red Bull in 14th and 15th. Well then, Season 8 is far from over and our season finale is at Abu Dhabi. So I do hope you can join us for them. I'll have to work out the constructors because I'm not that great at maths. So tune in next time to see if that's been decided. Or you may already know. Who knows? You may have worked it out already. That's fine. But I do hope you can join us for the season finale at Abu Dhabi. It's been a fantastic season, and under the fireworks there, it's a great way to round it off. But congratulations to Blizzard, who is the Season 8 champion of TTL. And until Abu Dhabi, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.